Bengal is being touted as the mother of all election battles in 2024. The Prime Minister today declared that Bengal will be the best performing state for the BJP in this election, saying that the Trinamool is staring at an existential crisis. The BJP has emerged as the clear number 2 party in the state in the last 10 years. The question is, will the 4th of June see the BJP becoming the number 1 party, or will the Trinamool be able to hold on to its lead?
State of War 2024 is in its final lap, and it's battleground Bengal that's heating up. The Prime Minister and the West Bengal Chief Minister hit the road in Kolkata. Prime Minister Modi has already declared that BJP's biggest gains will come from Bengal.
इस बार पूरे हिंदुस्तान में the best performing state कोई होगा तो पश्चिम बंगाल होने वाला है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी को सर्वाधिक सफलता पश्चिम बंगाल में मिल रही है और पश्चिम बंगाल का चुनाव एक तरफा है, जनता जनार्दन उसको लीड कर रही है और उसके कारण सरकार में बैठे हुए लोग, टीएमसी के लोग बौखलाए हुए हैं, लगातार हत्याएं हो रहे हैं, हमले हो रहे हैं, भाजपा कार्यकर्ताओं को चुनाव के पहले जेलों में बंद कर दिया जा रहा है। ये सारे जुल्मों के बावजूद भी मतदान भी जनता ज्यादा कर रही है और वोट भी ज्यादा हो रहा है।
He also accused the TMC of vote jihad.
टीएमसी ने लाखों ओबीसी नौजवानों का जो हक मिला था उनको संविधान ने दिया था, बाबा साहब आंबेडकर ने दिया था, देश की पार्लियामेंट ने दिया था, वो ओबीसी का जो हक था रातों रात ये वोट जिहाद वालों को मदद करने के लिए इन्होंने लूट लिया है। कोर्ट के इस फैसले का उसके बाद ये टीएमसी की सीएम क्या-क्या बोल रही है।
Then came a Modi की guarantee, especially for the people of West Bengal.
10 साल पहले जब आपने मुझे अवसर दिया था तो मैंने गारंटी दी थी, पूरे देश को गारंटी दी थी, न खाऊंगा न खाने दूंगा। अब मोदी देश को और पश्चिम बंगाल को खास एक और बड़ी गारंटी दे रहा है। मोदी की गारंटी है, पहले मैंने गारंटी दी थी न खाऊंगा न खाने दूंगा, अब मेरी गारंटी है जिसने खाया है उससे बाहर निकालूंगा और जिसका खाया है उसको मैं लौटाऊंगा।
Over the last 10 years, the BJP has emerged as the clear number 2 in the state, making elections a bipolar battle with the TMC. Mamata Banerjee is now claiming a Congress-BJP conspiracy in Bengal.
मेरे को पास तो यही इंफॉर्मेशन भी है, बीजेपी कांग्रेस को रुपया दिया इधर में, देके बोल रहा है मुस्लिम भाइयों को, उनको कि उधर में वोट कांग्रेस को दे दो, तृणमूल के मत दो। ये इंफॉर्मेशन भी है, लेकिन ये करेक्ट है कि नहीं है ये मेरे को पास इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है, लेकिन मैंने सुना है।
Her nephew taunted the Prime Minister for paying tribute to Swami Vivekananda.
সংবাদ মাধ্যমের মাধ্যমে আজকে কলকাতাবাসীকে অনুরোধ করব, তৃণমূলের প্রতিনিধিদের বলবো যে স্বামী বিবেকানন্দর বাসভবনে স্বামীজির যে মূর্তি আছে সেটাকে বুক দিয়ে আগলে রাখবেন এই উচ্ছিষ্ট গুণর থেকে। যারা সারদা মাকে নিয়ে ব্যঙ্গ বিদ্রুপ করেছে 1 মাস আগে, আজকে লোক দেখাতে সারদা মায়ের প্রতি শ্রদ্ধা নিবেদন করতে গেছে। এই দ্বিচারিতা চলবে না।
The BJP and TMC are locked in a mother of all battles in Bengal. Who will win? We will know on the 4th of June. Bureau Report, India Today.
The Prime Minister is declaring confidently that the BJP's biggest gains will come from West Bengal. The Trinamool, though, is hoping to halt the BJP in its tracks and send a message that Didi is back, that she continues to rule Bengal. What does West Bengal look like at this moment? Remember when the Sandesh Khali agitation was at its peak, it seemed as if the BJP was gaining momentum. Since then, the Trinamool has really hunkered down and tried to recover lost ground. Where do things stand at this moment? To talk about this, we're joined on this broadcast by Yashwant Deshmukh, founder, director, Sea Voter. We have with us Jayanto Ghoshal, who's a consulting editor with the India Today group. We have Shikha Mukherjee, well-known political commentator. And for political perspective, the challenger in West Bengal, national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Sanju Verma, squaring off against him, Riju Datta from the Trinamool. What I want to do is, as always, try and put things in context for you. So I'll start by giving you some baseline files to explain where the battle of 2024 really begins from, and then we'll do some scenario mapping to try and understand what could happen depending on how voters in Bengal vote. So in 2019, the Trinamool had 43% vote share, the BJP was at 40%, the gap between these both parties was just 3%. Remember, the BJP had grown from 17% in 2014 to 40%. That's more than doubling its vote share. That's a big jump. The Trinamool, despite the BJP's onslaught, held on, in fact increased its vote share from 39 to 43. So even if the BJP grew, the Trinamool managed to increase its vote share. It's largely the Congress that came down from 10 to 6 and the left that crashed from 30 to 8. Now, let's take you through the baseline seat share numbers. The BJP starts this election at 18 seats, the Trinamool at 22, the Congress had 2. Now, what can happen from here? That's really the critical question. How is this campaign progressing? Who's making gains? Who's losing and why? So let's spend some time trying to understand that, and then we can go across to all our guests and get their opinion as well. So now you're seeing where the gains are coming from and who's losing to whom. So if you see, it's the BJP that is gaining, and the BJP's gains have largely come at the expense of the left. So the left is down dramatically, and the BJP has gained almost. If the left front vote share went down by 22%, the BJP's went up by 23%. So arithmetically, that suggests it's the left vote share that seems to be coming to the BJP because the left is no longer seen as a viable alternative. The Trinamool has managed to increase its vote share over the years, and the BJP is the party which at this moment is in the ascendant. I want to show you some scenarios. If the BJP increases its vote share, what can happen? If the Trinamool increases its vote share, what can happen? So this is the actual baseline file. 2019, the results, 22 for the Trinamool, 18 for the BJP. Now the first scenario is, if the Trinamool is able to increase its vote share by 5%. Now this is difficult because the Trinamool already sits at a 43% vote share. That's a very high vote share percentage. So therefore, if this does happen, that the Trinamool's vote share goes up by 5, the BJP's goes down by 5, then the Trinamool ends up at 34 seats, the BJP at 7, Congress at 1. This is difficult because the Trinamool already has a very high vote share. So can they increase their vote share by 5? Riju will of course hope that they can, but that is tough to happen. Now the second scenario is, if the BJP increases its vote share by 5 and the Trinamool loses 5%, then what the Prime Minister said all through his rallies, his sabhas in Bengal, that could come true, that the BJP goes up to 31. So BJP's vote share goes from 40 to 45, the seat share then is at 31, and Trinamool comes down from 43 to 38, then the Trinamool seats crash to 10. Now, I'm not saying this is happening, I'm saying if it were to happen, and if the BJP, which pulled votes last time away from the left, is able to pull votes away from the Trinamool, then this could really become the BJP's bumper harvest in Bengal. So you now have a sense of the scenarios. I want to go across to our guests and try and understand from them what they think is happening on the ground. I'll start with Shikha Mukherjee. Shikha, we last did a conversation of this nature when the Sandesh Khali agitation was at its peak, and the question then was whether the BJP was gaining ground, and the general consensus was that yes, they seem to have picked up some steam. Now the point is that still the case? Are they holding on to the ground they gained? Has Didi clawed back? What's the state of play, according to you, at this moment in West Bengal? Shikha Mukherjee.
I think the state of play is that it's a close contest. It's a very tough fight, as you very correctly pointed out. Didi has hunkered down and she's kind of gathered momentum as she goes. The hostility between the two sides is a sort of verbal engagement of nature which is quite astonishing. And if I look at where the two parties stand, I would say that it is an effort on both sides to sort of keep to sort of maintain the position as on 2019. I think Trinamool's efforts is all in terms of, for 5 years it has been working on this project that it will reduce the BJP's seat count below what it was in 2019, below 18. And it wanted to make a big dent. Today, I think it's a more realistic assessment that yes, they will have to, if they can hold the BJP at 18 or push it down even by 1, they will have succeeded in achieving their objective.
Okay, so you're saying that the Trinamool is hoping that they keep the BJP at 18. That's the Trinamool's hope, that the BJP doesn't go beyond 18 and the Trinamool still has the bragging rights of being the #1 party. I think, Jayanta Ghoshal, the critical question is which party ends up as being #1. There is a lot of bragging rights. Even if it is by 1 more seat than the opponent, getting to be #1 in Bengal for the BJP will be a huge accomplishment. What's your reading of the state of play at the moment?
Thank you, Rahul. What you have shown, that's a very interesting, I can say that it can be a password to find the mystery, because this 5% is heavy. I think 2% increase is also can swing either or situation. You know, in Bengal, BJP is it is a very strong beneficiary. I mean, there is a major success story. From 0 to now 77 MLAs in assembly, they are sending Rajya Sabha member. So BJP and Modi ji has a strong brand equity in Bengal also. Bengal's not only this Bhadralok middle class, there is a strong influence in the rural Bengal also. And now anti-incumbency against the ruling regime TMC, not only the political violence, but the misgovernance, the mafia raj, the Sandesh Khali is not only a small micro village incident. It can create a major ripple in the whole state. But there is a strong but, because, I think Bengalis and the Bengal voters are very bad consumers. If we buy a shoe of Bata, I think we use it for 20, 30 years. Repair shops are more in Bengal. Left, we kept them 30 years. So, 3 elections, Mamata fought to oust CPM. So, BJP is the future beneficiary. I don't see the future of left is so bright, and the Congress and left this time, they will gain the space, what they lost. BJP and TMC, this binary, this politics will remain. But lack of organizational strength, the lack of strong leadership, like in UP, Jogi ji is there. So it's very easy for Modi ji and the BJP central leadership to communicate the central strategy to all the remote persons. So I think still Mamata and TMC has, the fighting spirit and now like Sandesh Khali. What Sandesh Khali, the campaign of BJP, immediately TMC countered with sting operation. So there is a tit for tat politics, and it's a hadda-haddi ladai, in Bengali say. It's a photo finish situation.
You're calling it a photo finish like situation. Now I want to go to Yashwant Deshmukh. I also want to tell our viewers he's also polling for C voter in the 6 phases where polling has happened. So he can't tell us about that. But he can't go away from what he knows, because it can't be as if his poll is saying something else and he says something else on record. So tell us what you can without getting us a notice from the Election Commission, Yashwant Deshmukh, in terms of your understanding of the situation in Bengal at the moment.
Rahul, in the 26th January issue of India Today, the India Today C voter MOTM poll, we had outlined 4 major states as the cliffhanger or a battleground states for the upcoming elections. The first one among them was West Bengal. Second, of course, was Maharashtra. Third, Bihar, and fourth was Karnataka. And this is where we had pointed out that, in Bengal, the fight would be not about who becomes number 1. The fight would be like for each and every of those 42 Lok Sabha seats. And it will be fight tooth and nail to the finishing line. And I must say, which I pointed out earlier as well, there is a reason. When you were showing the numbers of the graphics, it was very clear that BJP's upswing and gain came from the left front and the Congress to a large extent. And the reason why Mamta Didi did not go for an alliance with the left and the Congress was very simple. Whatever the residual votes now that the left and the Congress have actually are anti-TMC votes. If she would have accommodated left and the Congress in the alliance, then there was a clear-cut, clear and present danger at that point of time, those 10% votes switching away to the BJP. So she wanted to split the anti-Mamta votes. She ensured that she walks away from the India alliance. She ensured that, there is a triangular contest on each and every seat. Now, what remains to be seen, the disintegration, the continuous process of the disintegration of left and the Congress vote in the West Bengal, does that stop here somewhere and they manage to poll in double digits, or their disintegration continues further? And if it continues further, in your calculation, Rahul, there you have got only 2 options. Correct. If this happens and if that happens, there is a third probability also. Mamta Didi remains where she is, but further disintegration of the Congress and the left props up the BJP votes further. Is that going to happen? Can that happen? Or if the left and Congress kind of perform way beyond their expectation and swing the votes back from the BJP to them, and that gives an advantage to Mamta Didi. So
but that's very difficult. So let's deal with the realm of probability, because the chances of Congress and left doing extremely well in Bengal are very, very limited. Before I want to go across to the political guests, I want to give you a sense of what to expect in Phase 7 in West Bengal. So let's just take you through that. West Bengal has a total of 42 seats, and in Phase 7 are the seats around Kolkata. So there are 9 seats in total, all of which were won by the Trinamool in the last elections. So Kolkata Uttar, Dakshin, Jadavpur, Damdam, Diamond Harbour, Bashirhat, Barasat, all those seats right in southeast West Bengal are the seats that go to polls on the last day, which is the first. Now remember, I was speaking to some senior BJP leaders during this campaign, and their hope really is that they'll be able to pull a couple of seats away from the Trinamool even in this last phase. Riju Datta, are you anxious that earlier it was largely a fight in North Bengal, and in South Bengal the Trinamool was able to hold on? This time, as Jayanto and Shikha and Yashwant are pointing out, there's almost a fight now in every seat.
See, there has always been a fight in every seat because BJP is a perfect definition of a political machinery with Narendra Modi as their leader. There is no doubt in it. But you also have to see that the last 3 elections, it is Narendra Modi and the BJP and their entire armada has failed one after the other. I am telling you, the cyclone Rimal, after causing havoc in coastline areas, it is also it looks like it has also done a number on Pradhan Mantri Modi. because he looks disillusioned. He is going to make the best result in Bengal. I am telling you, he is in for the biggest shock of his political career when the results will be out on 4th of June. And why I am saying this? Is because on the ticket, this is not Mamata Banerjee's election, on the ticket, it is Mr. Modi's name. But the problem is Bengal BJP is only reliant on Modi. They do not have grassroots infrastructure. And if you need grassroots infrastructure, Mr. Modi can come here 24/7, no issues, he's more than welcome. But people of Bengal, I am telling you 3 main points why BJP will never win Bengal. Number 1, they do not understand the basic ethos of Bengal. Number 2, they do not have any grassroots organization. Number 3, people of Bengal do not like migratory leaders. They do not like political mujras in Bengal. What they need is leaders who will be hands-on here. And as a result,
let Sanju Verma respond that you're better on social media and on TV than you are on the ground, especially in southern Bengal, which is Didi's den, and she intends to keep the BJP out.
Can you hear me? Because the audio at my end is a tad muffled. Rahul, am I audible?
I hear you well, and as long as the voters of Bengal hear you well, you're fine as well. But go on, Sanju Verma.
Yes. And I did not heckle Riju. I'm sure the courtesy will be extended to me. First and foremost, let me start from some very interesting data that you gave out. You said if the Trinamool Congress increases its vote share by 5% and the BJP loses 5% vote share, then the Trinamool tally will be 34 and the tally of BJP will stand reduced dramatically to 7. Fine, that's an assumption you've made. Second scenario you gave was if BJP increases its vote share by 5%, our tally will be a solid 31 and the Trinamool Congress will be down to a measly 10 seats. But I want to give you a third scenario, which I think is the more realistic one. If the BJP increases its vote share by 7 to 8%, the BJP's tally will increase to anywhere between 36 to 38 seats, and the Trinamool Congress, if it loses vote share to the tune of 8% rather than 5%, it will be down to a mere 2 seats. And I think this is the most likely scenario that will pan out. There will be a black swan event on the 4th of June. And the political black swan event that will pan out on the 4th of June is that Mamata Banerjee, as far as Lok Sabha elections 2024 go, she will be shown the door. And I don't base my argument on rhetoric. I always say that data speaks loudest. Let's be very clear. There was the pre-Sandesh Khali era and the post-Sandesh Khali era. Sandesh Khali is going to prove to be an inflection point. And I'll tell you why. Mamata Banerjee rose to power in 2011 as the chief minister, saying that, the Nandigram violence was the inflection point and that is why the CPM lost face. After Sandesh Khali, Mamata Banerjee has lost political heft and she has lost the moral high ground. I have some startling NCRB data which says in 2022, there were 1.38 lakh violence cases against women, which included sexual assault cases, rape, molestation, etc. And in 2023, the NCRB says violence against women, including rapes and molestation cases, rose to 1.45 lakh, and West Bengal has the lowest conviction rate at a horrifying 2.1%.
Let me spend some time on Sandesh Khali. Sandesh Khali is in the Bashirhat constituency, and the question really is it a localized issue or is it a much bigger issue? I think that's really what it comes down to. Do you want to tell us, Shikha Mukherjee, what you think? Is it just very local, you think, or do you think Sandesh Khali has now become much bigger, where it's not just about what's happening in Bashirhat, it's also about what's happening in the rest of the state? Is it just restricted to that state? Has it become bigger? What's your sense, Shikha Mukherjee?
It's certainly gone beyond the limits of Sandesh Khali block, and it's certainly gone beyond the limits of the Bashirhat constituency. The issue is that Sandesh Khali has now become mired in a kind of controversy which was strictly avoidable if a clear and definite message was to be sent out. You've had these sting videos, which is the counter to the Sandesh Khali issue. And then, the fact is that Rekha Patro was the face of the protest and she was nominated by the BJP. That was a major plus. However, in the subsequent weeks, what has happened is Rekha Patra has not been deployed. This face of Sandesh Khali should have been part of the BJP's strategy for
been deployed outside Bashirhat.
Beyond Bashirhat is what I'm saying.
Why is she not being deployed beyond Bashirhat? That's my question.
Beyond Bashirhat, she has not been deployed. And that failure to deploy is part of this organizational strategic weakness within the BJP in West Bengal. And if you look at the organizational and strategic problems of the BJP, then you find that Sandesh Khali, which could have been a much bigger issue if it was just the women's part of the issue in Sandesh Khali, or even if it was the usurpation of land by the Bahubalis who belong to the TMC, all of this could have been made a much bigger issue.
Let Sanju Verma respond. Why is the candidate not being deployed outside? Now, two speakers are referred to, high aspiration but weak organizational base, which could potentially be the BJP's undoing in a state where she's up against a fierce competitor.
You know, let's be very clear, Rahul. First and foremost, I don't know why, my interventions are always so rushed. Unless you want me to become another Tejasvi Yadav and say rail, bhel, sale, सब कुछ बेच दिया मोदी सरकार ने और तालियां बजेंगी साइड में कि अरे Tejasvi Yadav has spoken pearls of wisdom. Anyway, let me just say that the BJP has an excellent grassroots machinery, and I don't think anybody needs to tell Narendra Modi, Amit Shah, or Dilip Ghosh, or Suvendu Adhikari how to go about doing their job. But I'll tell you something very interesting. This entire, narrative, arey, we stand for, son of the soil philosophy. We stand for Ma Mati Manush. We dislike migratory birds. अरे भाई साहब, ममता दीदी और उनके जितने भी नुमाइंदे हैं, मुझे बताइए, you have fielded Shatrughan Sinha from Asansol. Is Shatrughan Sinha not a migratory bird? You have fielded Yusuf Pathan from Berhampur. Is Yusuf Pathan not a Boiragatto? Is he a son of the soil? No, he's an outsider by Mamata Banerjee's own definition. So my first point is this. The day Mamata Banerjee decided to field Shatrughan Sinha from Asansol and Yusuf Pathan from Berhampur, she lost the narrative about insider versus outsider. My second point, and very important,
complete what you're saying.
Very quickly. Can I finish very quickly?
Complete.
I always say, Rahul, that the devil is in the detail. Look at the candidates. Very quickly in 20 seconds. She's fielded Abhishek Banerjee from Diamond Harbour. She's fielded Mahua Moitra once again from Krishnanagar. She's fielded Sayoni Ghosh from Jadavpur. From Barasat, it is once again Stakoli Dastidar. And from Bashirhat, the famous TMC Gunda, Haji Nurul Islam. Mujhe bataiye, after Abhishek Banerjee has not been given any relief by the Supreme Court, which refused to quash proceedings against him in the cash for job scam, could Mamata Banerjee not have found a better candidate for Diamond Harbour? What has Sayoni Ghosh done all these years? Could she not have found a better candidate for Jadavpur?
Let Riju Datta respond to that. Surely it's the Trinamool's choice who they want to put up, and then the voters have to decide. But the argument that you're making is that you're being able to expand your foothold, and that now the fight is also in areas where there wasn't as much of a fight. In the southern parts of the state, where there wasn't a fight last time, there is a fight this time, and especially because the BJP is latched on to the issue of the monks. Remember, the Prime Minister in the roadshow that he did also went from Subhash Chandra Bose's statue at the 5-point crossing in North Kolkata to Swami Vivekananda's ancestral house. The whole idea was to meet monks of different monastic orders because the charge is that Trinamool and Mamata Banerjee are disrespecting these monks. And these monks and their orders have a lot of support, and that could be part of the Trinamool's undoing, Riju Datta.
Okay, I hope, Rahul, you will give me that courtesy extra 20 seconds that you have given to Sanjuji. Now, let me start off. Sanjuji's third scenario of 38 seats, BJP getting 38 in Bengal. If that happens, pigs will also fly and dinosaurs will roam the earth. Let's skip away from that. Sandesh Khali is a concocted conspiracy which is exposed now in Bengal, number one. Number two, Modi ji gives all these big dialogues. Abhishek Banerjee challenged Modi ji that when you come to Bengal, issue a white paper why you have withheld the funds of Manrega and Awas Plus Yojana for after 2 years after you have been thrashed in 2021 elections. No answer. Third point, for monks, Modi ji went and paid homage to Swami Vivekananda. Very good. But few months ago, the state president of BJP, Shukanto Mojumdar, in front of camera said Swami Vivekananda was a communist product. Was he belted by Modi ji? No. There was no action taken against him. So all this hypocrisy, we have had enough. I am telling you, the monks, we have nothing against monks. We respect Ramakrishna Mission, we respect Bharat Shivacham. But if a particular monk, if he is doing prachar for Narendra Modi, if he is on a political stage, if he is giving a flack to Narendra Modi ji, we have no issues. Wear a BJP badge like I am proudly wearing a TMC badge. That's all we are saying. We have seen one criminal with 42 criminal records just donned the saffron cloth and has become the chief minister, Yogi ji. हमने देखा है इस देश में.
Okay, now Jayanto Ghoshal, this issue of the monks, the BJP is trying to fan that flame, saying that Mamata Banerjee is anti-Hindu. Is that catching on? Is that something that Mamata Di is worried about, that could become an issue?
I think
Jayanto.
CM said that was not pre-planned, and we all know the style of Mamata Banerjee's utterances usually in public meetings. But she clarified the position, and Ramakrishna Mission also issued a statement that they also don't want to be used by any political party, as Ramakrishna Mission is a apolitical social organization. You know, Sister Nivedita also was not, she was could not remain in Ramakrishna Mission for her anti-British politics also. So Ramakrishna Mission is, we should not talk Ramakrishna Mission on this election issue. And this issue, Narendra Modi is a capable person to immediately take off the issue. And what he did, he tried to consolidate the Hindu vote bank, because you know the Bengali Hindus are not like the northern Indian Hindutvadi. There is a difference. There are a lot of layers. An atheist can be a Hindu in Bengal. And you know, this is a very complicated issue. But Narendra Modi tried to, it's a politics of polarization versus politics of appeasement. That is the main issue in Bengal. One side, vote bank politics and the appeasement policy.
Okay.
And the other side is what Modi ji is trying to polarize the Hindu vote. But you know, the Mamata's advantage, you can say that it's a very unfortunate, but 30% Muslim vote is still, we are not discussing that issue. Mamata is starting with that 30%. And after CA, the Muslim vote bank has become more scared, and Mamata Banerjee is saying that you Muslim people, you have to go to Pakistan, you have to go to Bangladesh.
So let's look at the caste-by-caste breakup and ask Yashwant Deshmukh about that. I'll show you what we know about how the castes moved last time. And then Yashwant can give us some broad stroke sense of what might happen this time round. So if you see OBC voters, amongst the OBCs, BJP increased its vote share to 44. The left came down along with the Congress by 29. The OBCs supported the Trinamool lesser than they did in the past election. Amongst the upper castes also, the BJP was able to increase its vote share. The left, again, the principal loser. If you look at the Muslim vote, that's the point that Jayanto was making, consolidated very strongly towards the Trinamool, away from the left. So earlier it used to get fragmented, now very consolidated amongst the Hindu voters of Bengal. 36% increase for the BJP, a 28% decrease for the left and the Congress. And amongst the Dalits also, the BJP making gains, the left and the Congress losing amongst Dalits and OBCs as well. Now, Jayanto, Yashwant Deshmukh, this point that Jayanto makes, that the Hindus of Bengal are very different from the Hindus of Uttar Pradesh. To what extent is that correct? Because the BJP is trying to ensure that they're Hindu in their political sensibility as well, that to the extent possible they vote like Hindus in Uttar Pradesh do? To what extent do the Hindus in Bengal remain different from the Hindus in other parts of the Hindi heartland?
Well, to a large extent, what Yantoda is saying is true, because we haven't been analyzing Bengal politics through the lenses of the caste division the way we are used to in the northern India and other Indian states, even in the South India. All the caste driven politics have been all there. So that is true. But from the partition days, for sure, there has been a significant religious polarization all along. Somehow, surprisingly, that religious polarization was never coming out to the fore, largely because of the 3 decades of the left rule, I would say so. I mean, because that's how it is. But that doesn't mean, Rahul, that Bengal politics was not having, or Bengal society was not having a religious fault line. It was pretty much there. Please try to understand there. The partition of India happened on 2 fronts. Hey, somehow because of the 71 war and formation of Bangladesh, we forgot that entire analysis of the Eastern Front partition and the fault lines that exist in the society. Our entire focus of Aman Ki Asha was only on the Western Front. That thing did not occur to us that there happens to be deep fault lines, and somebody someday would have kind of exposed it. It was something which was plastered down by the politics of the left front, and because Mamata Banerjee, Mamata Didi actually was a very successful grassroots politician who fought the left day in and day out. And mind you, a big chunk of that fighting with the left happened with her alliance with the BJP. In the 90s, BJP contested with Mamata Banerjee successfully couple of times in West Bengal and opened their account, riding on the shoulders of
Shikha Mukherjee, respond to Yashwant's argument. They're trying to make the Hindus of Bengal, as far as their political preferences are concerned, vote on similar lines as Hindus in the Hindi heartland. To what extent do you think the needle has moved from the last election to this one?
It's till the issue came up politically, this divide or this fault line, as Yashwant describes it, was not exactly evident in everyday life. We didn't really know that this fault line was the way we are seeing it today. But what we are seeing is a campaign which is centered around the fault line. Till this campaign happened, we didn't really understand that the fault line was there to the extent that we are seeing it now. It is not that we did not talk about vote bank politics. It's not that we did not talk about the Muslim votes, which side are they aligned, how are they moving, are they staying with the Congress, to which extent, how they are moved to the left, and what is going to be the impact insofar as the Trinamool's growth is concerned. We did. But it was not the central issue in Bengal politics at that point in time. That is the difference. Today, this fault line is politically one of the central issues in Bengal's very competitive politics. And if you look at how the 2 things have played out, and I'll just give it as an example. The CAA issue is part of this fault line. So is the Shandesh-Khali issue a part of this fault line. Okay. Because in Shandesh-Khali, you already have that.
Yashwant wants to make a quick point. I need to end. Yashwant.
Very quick point, Rahul. 5 years back, if you pull out the India Today Sea Voter MOTN issue of January 2019, when we predicted a big upswing for the BJP and BJP put at 18-19 seats, nobody wanted to believe that. Because at that point of time also, exactly this was like that. There might be a fault line, but it is not evident. BJP just exposed that fault line. And now, just like saying that, they are not just they are done with exposing. Now they are playing it out. They are bracing it out that, okay, this is the fault line and this shall be our political
If it becomes
line.
the central fault line, in the nature of Indian politics, it is to the advantage of the BJP. The Trinamool would want that there be other issues as well. I'm out of time on this conversation. I want to thank all our guests for joining us. Sanju Verma, thank you very much. Riju Datta, all the best. You have to the extent possible, safeguard your party's interest in South Bengal. Let's see what happens on the 1st. Remember, 5 p.m. the 1st of June is when we start our coverage of the India Today Access My India exact poll. Shrika Mukherjee, Yashwant Deshmukh and Jayanto Ghoshal, thank you very much for joining us.